broadcast. Here back with Jordan Malone, and everybody wants to call you Maloney. They keep telling me it's Maloney. Well, that's what his fans call him. It's like your nickname.
So tell everybody.
Marcus is modeling your medal, one of your medals.
This mine.
You were saying something interesting about that medal.
Well, no, the medals that were awarded on the 2-year anniversary of the meteor that struck Russia, right? The meteor that crashed in. They actually, I don't know, remembered that day by putting pieces of the meteor in the medals that were awarded that day. So these don't have pieces of the meteor in it, but there were medals awarded that day for speed skating. We're like, we have to win one. We were only able to get those.
Tell everybody what you were telling me earlier about how you grew up and how you actually trained yourself on the streets.
Yeah, one of the things I really try to resonate in the kids that I talk to when I go to schools is that it's not about success. It's about finding success in a sea of adversity. For every victory I've had 1,000 failures. And, one of the things that made me who I am, you're a product of your environment. I'm from Denton, Texas, small town. It was just me and my mom. And there was a lot of people in my life that told me no. And I was kicked out of my home rink when I was 10 years old because I didn't want to train with this coach that didn't treat me well. And so I was like, okay, I'll, skate for another team. And they let me train with them for a while. And then they kicked me out. And at the time, you're looking at yourself as, wow, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to us? But, my mom, she went out and bought a moped from a 1976 Honda moped, and she drove in front of me and would make sure that I was safe on the streets. And I'm, 10, 11 years old, training on the streets by myself. And, I was in the hospital that was across the highway from us, and I was in a housing development that was being built, and you just have to find a way. And that was,
Your mom sounds amazing.
How long was your medal competition?
It was
to actually win the medal.
Yeah, I mean, there's races between 40 seconds, and our race was about 6 minutes long.
Okay,
Yeah.
So perspective.
7 minutes long.
All right, 25 years.
All down to 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
Because like he said, it's those moments in the midst of adversity that creates a legacy. Now you have a legacy.
Yeah.
I mean, literally a legacy created in 7 minutes. Like, we look at it like that as athletes. You prepare for a game all week. You put in 46, 40, 50 hours before Sunday comes for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So that's amazing, man.
And the thing about the Olympics is it's a gamble.
Yeah.
You gamble 4 years of your life. It all comes down to a series of moments. If you don't race well for those 3 or 4 days of Olympic trials, your 4 years is over. Right. If you break a bone, if you do, one thing that happened to me before Vancouver, I tore my ACL 3 months before Vancouver Games. Jeez. And people tried to kick me off the team. They tried to take it away from me, and I just kept going. I taped my knee, and I went to the right doctors here in Dallas, and I found a way, and I got a bronze medal.
And you look at it, I went to school with Lolo Jones. She went to LSU. I saw her jump thousands of hurdles perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, just looked like a movie. Every time she would run and jump hurdles.
Yeah.
She clipped one in the Olympics.
Oh, man.
And that was it.
And that's the one.
That broke my heart.
It broke my heart. And I talked to her. She was at the Super Bowl when it was in New Orleans a few years ago. And I talked to her, and she said, you know what, Marcus? I realized at that point that all the work I do is for a short race. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm like enamored with this guy, because
I want to know from both of you as athletes and with strong mothers, how, as a mother of boys, and I asked this during the break, how do you prepare your children for success and encourage them to shoot for the NFL, encourage them to shoot for the Olympics, and still keep them grounded enough knowing that, there's a possibility that might not happen?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that was, at that time you encouraged the certain parts where, you point out that one of the things that I always tried to do growing up was to be modest. That's just, it's a choice. It's very easy with things like this to become cocky and arrogant and think it's just about you and it's just for you. But, my mom encouraged things like being modest and not showing off your accomplishments, but instead to inspire others. Like the statement, a true champion makes sure that they're not the only ones that are successful. You know, they make sure that they bring up people around them, not just themselves. You don't put people down, you bring up people around you, and then that makes you better.
Did you ever have days where you just said, I'm not good enough, I cannot do
You know,
this, I'm not good enough, Mom?
Well, it's not that, you know,
Did you ever think that?
The real struggle for me was, so I was the kind of kid, and I mean, parents need to listen to this. I was the kind of kid who, if you pushed me, I would resist. Go to practice. You got to do. No, I don't want to do it. And it was, my mom approached it as, okay, you know, it's time to get up. It's 5 a.m. You got to practice. You know, I was up till 1 doing homework, and you know, I'm just like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to do it this morning. My mom's like, great, I'm going back to sleep. You know, and then she would walk away, and she'd go back to sleep, and 5 minutes later, I'm like my worst enemy, and I'm like, oh God. And, you know, you have to. You can't make your kids want it.
Yeah.
You have to give them the opportunity to be successful, and you just encourage it and help them do those, you know, but you can't get mad at them if they're not doing what you expect them to do.
Yeah.
And the humility point is that you always have to remember, with any athlete that makes it to a high level, it's thousands of people that helped you get
Right.
there. You know? And that's how I remind all of the athletes about that. You know, just think about all the people it took.
Yeah.
To get you
there.
Well, you two are two peas in a pod, I'll tell you what. When